The story begins on Valentine's Day, when a girl named Gina is feeling absolutely miserable. Her boyfriend isn't answering her calls, and when she goes to meet him, she catches him cheating with another girl. In a fit of rage, Gina throws water on him and yanks off the love pendant he had given her. In the midst of this heartbreak, her path crosses with Vincent, a luxury hotel manager with broad shoulders and a powerful aura. He runs the most luxurious hotel in the country, where celebrities, actors, and singers all stay, because the service is absolutely top tier. Somehow, Gina ends up renting a room there. She takes off her clothes and starts singing her favorite songs at full volume. But she sings so loudly that reception starts getting complaints from other guests about the noise. That's when Vincent himself comes to her room and knocks. And without any warning, Gina flashes her leg at him. But Vincent stays calm and tells her that her voice is super annoying to the other guests and she needs to quiet down. Suddenly, Gina passes out. Vincent lays her on the bed and realizes she's drunk, and she even soaked his jacket with her spit. Vincent is about to leave, but Gina grabs him, mistaking him for her ex-boyfriend, and starts treating him just like her ex used to treat her, rudely and aggressively. She bumps into a bottle, and both of them fall onto the bed. Then she smashes a bottle on his head, thinking he's some kind of pervert. The next morning, when Gina wakes up, she's shocked to find Vincent in her bed and immediately kicks him off the bed. She starts covering herself in panic, but Vincent calmly explains that the wine she drank last night was worth $600. Gina is immediately told she has to pay $600 for the wine. She thinks it's all a scam, so she tries to shove Vincent and run away. But then she realizes she's actually in a 5-star ultra-luxurious hotel, and Vincent really is the hotel manager. Her card has no balance, and some staff members mock her by calling her poor, which only adds to her frustration. Furious, Gina goes online and writes a scathing 1-star review of the hotel. The post goes viral and more people start leaving negative comments, leading others to believe the hotel's quality has dropped. Vincent quickly shifts into emergency mode. First, he fires the cleaning staff member who spoke rudely about Gina. Then, he goes to Gina's place and makes her an offer. He wants her to become the hotel's official flaw investigator, someone who inspects and identifies problems in the hotel to help improve customer experience. As part of the deal, she gets to stay at the hotel for free and will earn $200 per day. Hearing that kind of money, Gina's eyes light up and she accepts the offer without a second thought. Just as she says yes, she accidentally trips and falls right on top of Vincent. And in that moment, Vincent feels a little spark, maybe the beginning of something more. He gives her the hotel's most luxurious suite, and there, they sign the contract. The doorbell rings, and Vincent surprises her with a birthday cake. Gina melts inside, touched, because no one else remembered her birthday. That sweet little gesture brings her emotionally closer to him. As soon as Gina begins her job, she starts paying close attention to every detail, making sure there are no stains on the floor, the cafeteria food is tasty, and all the wealthy clients get VIP treatment. After observing her dedication, Vincent starts thinking he needs Gina as his assistant. He tries to keep his distance from her because he's a cold and professional person. But when they have to take a photo for the hotel's website, they smile together, and for a moment, they feel surprisingly close. Over time, as they spend more time together, their bond grows stronger. Gina takes Vincent to her favorite childhood restaurant, the place she used to visit when she couldn't afford anything else. She introduces him to her favorite dishes and tells him that even people who've known her forever don't know this side of her. Vincent is so moved by the experience that he starts developing an interest in cooking too, showing how deeply Gina is starting to affect his heart in a positive way. One day, Gina visits her grandmother, who is suffering from Alzheimer's. Her grandma doesn't recognize her, and that breaks Gina completely. When she returns to the hotel, Vincent is waiting at the entrance, and his presence uplifts her mood. Seeing the hope in his eyes gives her strength to carry on. But then Vincent tells her that a guest has filed a complaint against her, and if she isn't more careful, she might get fired from the hotel. He tells her that work always comes first and people come second. Vincent doesn't take her side, which leads Gina to call him a fake person. These words haunt Vincent all night because speaking so harshly to Gina hurts him deeply. The next morning, Vincent apologizes and sends gifts to her room. Gina decides to follow him one night while he's out walking. They talk, but without noticing, the hotel door accidentally locks behind them. Vincent tries to open it using his special tricks, but nothing works, and they realize they're completely locked inside together. At that moment, the power goes out, so they try calling Vincent's assistant, who happens to be busy in the bathroom. Since the call comes from Gina's phone, the assistant, annoyed, snaps, "Don't disturb me." To make things worse, Vincent starts getting a headache. Gina gently blows on his forehead, and it's like a wave of love passes through his mind with that breath. After that, they end up creating a little impromptu picnic in the room, but suddenly Vincent hears a strange noise that scares him. He wonders if there might be rats, and both of them, terrified, cling to each other and fall asleep like that. The next morning, the hotel staff is out looking for them and finally finds them sleeping while holding each other. Gina wakes up first and casually walks away with full confidence, acting like nothing happened. Vincent, embarrassed, puts on his tie, covers his face, and quietly exits. But what doesn't leave is the office gossip. Soon, everyone's talking about how the boss spent the night with a girl. Now the entire staff knows. Gina tries to keep her distance from Vincent, and whenever they do, cross paths. There's an awkward silence. Vincent still acts like a professional boss and doesn't show any emotions, but Gina has gotten so deep into his head that he starts imagining her even when she's not around. Like she's on top of him, and they're experiencing true love. Then another rumor spreads that Vincent is actually married and has 2 kids. Even though it's completely fake, Gina believes it and confronts him, saying, "You're a disgusting man who was cheating on me." Vincent can't take it anymore and finally confesses that he's neither married nor does he have children. The love between them is just a few centimeters away, because no matter how much they try to run from each other, something pulls them together. Then Gina receives a special invitation. So, for the hotel party, Gina decides to wear a super sexy outfit. She grabs everyone's attention with her stunning beauty, and 2 women, who were trying to find rich husbands, get jealous seeing how all the guys are now drawn toward Gina. The 2 women surround her and start threatening her, but Gina doesn't feel intimidated at all. Then one of them tries to throw cake at her, but it accidentally lands down the neckline of the other girl. Chaos breaks out, and Gina even tastes a bit of the cake, smiling mischievously. One of the women tries to slap her, but Gina threw water on her face. She looks for a glass to throw on Gina, but no one was giving her. So, she hands a glass to her friend, but before anything can happen, Vincent jumps in like a hero and protects Gina, getting soaked in the process. Gina quickly takes out a napkin to wipe him down, but accidentally removes the concealer under his eyes, revealing huge dark circles, like the size of an airport runway, showing how stressed and sleepless his life actually is. Vincent gets angry and snaps, "There's no room for mistakes in a 5-star hotel." In his frustration, he fires her on the spot. But the moment he does it, he immediately regrets it, because Gina is the peace in his chaotic life. Later, when he sees her standing alone in the middle of the road, a truck is about to hit her. Suddenly, a guy named Linju, her childhood friend, rushes in like a hero and saves her life. Vincent feels relieved, but also secretly jealous, because now someone else is getting Gina's attention. Gina starts spending more time with Linju, and Vincent begins defending her in front of everyone, and even begs her to return to the hotel. But at first, Gina just avoids giving a clear answer. Vincent says, "Ask your heart, do you want me back or not?" And when even that doesn't work, he gets a big romantic idea. When Gina is on the bus, Vincent suddenly shows up with a huge banner where he apologizes for hurting her. He promises he'll change, and feelings really start to come back for Gina. 2 girls sitting in the back say, "You have the perfect boyfriend." So, Gina decides to come back to the hotel, but this time she comes as part of the cleaning staff because she wants to achieve everything on her own, starting from the bottom. Then, one day, a drunk and recently divorced man threatens to jump from the rooftop. Gina shows courage and goes to him, trying to stop him. She tells him a painful story about how something similar happened to her. Her fiancé left her on their wedding day. Hearing this, the man gets emotional and doesn't jump. But in the meantime, Vincent arrives and, seeing Gina's red eyes, thinks she was drinking on the job. He gets angry. But then the others tell him that Gina actually saved the man's life. And Vincent feels even more respect for Gina. After that, Vincent gives Gina intense training so she can become a perfect hotel employee. He tells her, "You'll have to learn English if you want to deal with the international clients." Gina doesn't like his bossy attitude, and tension grows in their relationship. One day, Vincent suddenly gives her a surprise test. What makes a good maid? Gina makes mistakes during the test. She first wipes his mouth with her hand, then puts the coffee cup in the wrong place, then messes up his books. And then she realizes that she's a complete disaster and will need a lot of help if she really wants to work at the hotel. Vincent suggests that she smile a little more at the clients, But when Gina tries, her smile is so awkward. Just then, a foreign client asks her for help and directly asks, "Will you be my girlfriend?" And before Gina can say anything, Vincent suddenly appears and tells the guy to leave. "Sorry, she's my girlfriend." The guy leaves, and Gina tells Vincent that she messes up at work because Vincent makes her feel nervous, which clearly means she has feelings for him. After this realization, thoughts start flooding Gina's mind about Vincent, taking her to bed and kissing her. She gets ready, striking sexy poses, and as soon as Vincent enters her room, Gina starts to unbutton his shirt. They roll around on the bed, then fall onto the floor. But then Vincent reveals that he only came to check if Gina had made the bed properly. He pretends that he didn't like Gina's actions because if people found out he was having an affair with an employee, it would create a scandal at the hotel. Then, he slowly walks away with his legs close together because his pants are ripped. Obviously, because of what just happened. Then Vincent gifts her a beautiful dress, which Gina wears to attend a perfume event. At the party, everyone compliments her so much that people crowd around her to see her up close. It gets so crowded that she gets exhausted and leaves, and to make matters worse, someone even steals her shoe. Obviously, it's Vincent who picks up the shoe, approaches her, and when she tries to wear it, Vincent stops her. Not out of hatred, but because he sees himself as her Prince Charming and her as his Cinderella, whom he looks at with deep respect. At the event, there's a competition to decide which couple looks the best, and she goes on stage with Linju. Vincent gets jealous and also goes up on stage to stop them from being together. Vincent's ex-girlfriend Suji can't control herself and also gets on stage pretending to be Vincent's partner. Vincent feels uncomfortable and tells her that if she pretends to be his girlfriend, he'll raise her salary to $300 per day. And they all play a weird game involving hitting each other with hammers, where the guys defend their lover's honor. Vincent sweats a lot and dark circles appear under his eyes. Gina helps him apply makeup, and in that atmosphere, their chemistry becomes so strong that everything feels hot like a sauna. But they realize that no matter how much they fight, their love never fades. They share their secrets, listen to their favorite music, and spend a romantic night together. They fall so deeply in love that they even forget their way back. They hitch a ride and stop a bicycle. Vincent makes her sit on the back like a princess and pedals with all his strength. He doesn't feel tired at all because Gina is right in front of his eyes. In the next scene, Linju comes to the hotel as a guest and calls Gina to his room, saying the room needs to be cleaned. But in reality, he has set up a romantic dinner to express his feelings to Gina. The atmosphere is perfect for a love confession. But Vincent arrives angrily and says that a hotel employee can't date during work hours because it's bad for the hotel's reputation. He takes her away from there to a safe place. While they're working, they suddenly hear a strange scream that grabs their attention. They follow the sound and discover a secret door that leads them to a big room where they find a man sleeping. It turns out he's the hotel's former security guard who was fired due to a mistake and had been hiding there ever since because he had nowhere else to go. They realize the hotel holds many secrets, and then Gina sees a little girl with long hair who looks like a ghost. The girl says she's lost. And Gina tries to comfort her by giving her a mango candy, but the girl is allergic and starts struggling to breathe. They rush her to the hospital and Gina feels guilty. Luckily, the girl recovers, but her mother sends a lawyer to sue the hotel. The lawyers spread supernatural stories to tarnish the hotel's reputation so that the hotel will pay them off before clients start leaving. Vincent talks to the girl's mother and shows her a video where Gina is saving her daughter's life. But the mother still goes ahead with the case, until the girl herself confesses that she chose the cake because she wanted her mother to give her more attention. Everything happened just because a little girl wanted to be noticed by her mom. And finally, all misunderstandings are cleared up. But the twists don't end there. Gina finds out that her grandma is missing, so she teams up with Vincent to search for her. When they find her, Gina reassures her and helps her feel safe. But because of Alzheimer's, Grandma doesn't recognize her granddaughter and thinks she's being kidnapped. It goes so far that she even calls the police. For Gina, this is the most painful thing, that even her own grandma doesn't realize how much she loves her. Her heart breaks thinking that she'll never get her old grandma back. At that moment, Vincent helps her, and Gina opens up, telling him that her parents abandoned her when she was little. And it was her grandma who raised her, educated her, and made her into the woman she is today. Gina feels deep sadness seeing her grandma like this. Vincent also remembers the day his mother died when he was a kid. Their shared grief connects them even more emotionally because two broken people can understand each other deeply when they are together. It feels like heaven. One night at a party, Gina drinks too much and acts a bit dramatic. She just wants to be in Vincent's room. Vincent carries her to bed and hugs her tightly. Gina tells him to touch her hair lovingly because his touch feels like heaven to her. The next day, Gina feels embarrassed remembering her behavior. Her friends ask if she's in a relationship with Vincent, but Gina feels confused and doesn't say anything.
Then she gets a recording from the CCTV cameras where she and Vincent share a small kiss, and she can't get it out of her head. Now she wants Vincent even more.
In an awkward situation, they both go to dinner with their respective dates, but secretly text each other complaining about why they're sitting with someone else. The tension rises when Suji says that she and Vincent used to sleep together as kids and that she remembers every detail of Vincent's body. Gina gets angry, slams her hand on the table, and storms out. A famous astrologer named Miss Bay comes to the hotel. She has millions of followers and is very popular. Vincent gives her the best room and personally welcomes her. Miss Bay finds Vincent handsome, so she pretends her earrings are lost. When Vincent goes to look for them, she grabs the chance to hug him as if they're the only two people in the world. Just then, Gina passes by, sees everything, and angrily pulls Vincent away from the hug. Vincent apologizes to Miss Bay because she's a guest, and Miss Bay explains that Vincent reminds her of someone she used to like. Gina says that's no excuse to cling to someone. Vincent has to hold Gina back or she might hit someone again. Surprisingly, Vincent isn't angry at all because Gina's possessiveness feels like proof that she truly loves him. So Vincent decides to take Gina to his house where very few girls have ever been. He gets dressed up nicely and prepares special dishes for her. Gina feels a bit awkward, and the most embarrassing moment comes when some rice gets stuck on her lips and Vincent gently removes it. Gina confesses her feelings and says, "I like you." She feels like she's not beautiful and expects Vincent to reject her. But Vincent says, "What a silly thing to say, I'd never reject you." Then he opens up too and says he likes Gina as well. Vincent gives Gina a sweet kiss that touches her heart and Gina is so shocked she trembles slightly. This marks the official start of their relationship. They secretly give each other love notes and share kisses everywhere. Gina warns Vincent that according to hotel policy, office romance isn't allowed, but Vincent doesn't care. Their love life is going smoothly when Vincent's father arrives and insists that Vincent should get married now, and that Suji is the perfect choice because she's rich and holds a good position at the hotel. Vincent boldly says he's already found the girl he wants. Suji doesn't like this at all and tries to force a kiss on Vincent. But Gina arrives just then and drops a kitchen cloth over Vincent and Suji. Gina storms off angrily, and Vincent tries to explain. Vincent then clearly tells Suji that he only sees her as a friend and that nothing is possible between them. Meanwhile, Gina sees a man smoking in the hotel and puts out his cigarette, not knowing that he's Vincent's father. Vincent's father gets angry and tells Vincent to fire Gina immediately. Vincent refuses to obey and stands by Gina's side. His father starts spreading nasty rumors about Gina so that people hate her, and even hotel customers begin to avoid her. Gina, filled with anger, thinks of taking revenge for all that's been done to her. Vincent's father insists again that Gina should be fired, but Vincent stands his ground and says Gina is essential both for the hotel and his life. Then Gina sees a woman who shocks her. It's her mother, whom she hasn't seen in 20 years because her mother abandoned her when she was little. Gina's mother explains that she had no money, so she had to leave Gina. She apologizes, but Gina refuses to accept her and unleashes all her pent-up anger and pain. Vincent comforts Gina and makes her feel that he will always be there for her and protect her. But Vincent's father forces Vincent to go on dates with Suji, and during one of those dates,
the cruelest part is that Gina is made to work as a waitress while watching her boyfriend being seduced by another woman. On top of that, Suji treats her badly, and when Gina's had enough, she eats a shrimp that was meant for Vincent, showing she's not easily intimidated. Afterward, a little girl keeps bothering her for hours, and fed up, Gina flips over the girl's plate of sunflower seeds and tells her she has no manners. The fight continues when the girl tries to slap Gina, and feeling hurt, runs off to the rooftop to cry. Then, before leaving, Gina's mother apologizes to her for abandoning her as a child and making her life miserable. She hands her a credit card as a form of apology, but Gina decides to throw it away because love can't be bought. It has to be earned through genuine heartfelt actions, just like what Vincent does for her. He makes her want to live and enjoy life. But one day, a signboard falls on Vincent's head, causing a cranial injury that lands him in the hospital for several days. Gina becomes his personal nurse, giving him a paradise full of love, and this brings them so close that they even go on a trip together. During the trip, they place a lock with their names and a heart on a lover's wall, sealing their bond.
They then decide not to hide their relationship anymore. They walk around the hotel hand in hand, openly showing their love without fear. On a romantic trip, they book a special Valentine's room with only one bed. Both feel shy and hesitant to express their feelings. Vincent even falls off the bed, and to ease the tension, they drink together. They grow closer, and Vincent kisses Gina. Meanwhile, Vincent's father announces that he wants to sell the hotel, which Vincent hates because he's devoted his whole life to making it the best. Vincent starts collecting customer signatures to save the hotel. The customers say they'll help if there are more parties and love around the hotel. Everyone believes Vincent is the best because he's in love, and together with Gina, they make the perfect team. Finally, Vincent is made president, and his father can't do anything despite his shouting. Gina and Vincent celebrate their success. Vincent asks Gina to make a wish, and she wishes good health for her friends, her grandma, and Vincent. Vincent surprises her by saying he wants Gina to help manage the hotel too. But for that, Gina must study abroad for 2 years, and though she feels sad, she agrees. Gina meets her grandma and visits her childhood home where she spent her happiest moments. When Gina is about to leave for another country, Vincent doesn't come to the airport, which hurts her. But then she realizes that the taxi driver is actually Vincent. He tells her he'll think about her lips every day and promises that when she returns, he'll hug and kiss her first thing. Gina boards the plane and Vincent continues running the hotel and also takes care of Gina's grandma. The hotel wins the Best Hotel of the Year award, but Vincent doesn't feel happy because Gina isn't there with him. A year later, Gina makes a grand entrance at the hotel, and Vincent is overjoyed. Gina now has full knowledge of hotel management, but surprisingly acts a bit cold with Vincent as if she's upset. At the reception, Vincent finds a Santa Claus with a sweet voice waiting for him, showing him all the gifts that are tied to his love story with Gina, everything that mattered in their relationship. Then Vincent realizes that the Santa is actually Gina, who still loves him madly. When the Santa hides behind the Christmas tree, Gina steps out in a beautiful bridal dress because she had said from day one that one day they would get married. Gina says she can't stay away from Vincent anymore, and Vincent feels the same. He feels like his soul dims when Gina isn't near. Vincent proposes to her, asking if she will be his wife forever. With tears of joy, Gina says yes right away. And they decide to stay together not just in this life but for eternity. On their wedding night, they get even wilder because their hearts burn with a fire that can never be extinguished, a fire that only burns to the rhythm of love. As soon as they look into each other's eyes, it feels like heaven has arrived in their lives. And with that, the story comes to an end.